to JAIIB English Medium channel. I hope all of you are doing fine. Today in the increment series, we will be talking about principles and practices of banking. So PPB, as you know, that it is one of the most important subject, and today we will be covering Unit 18th, which is a part of your Module A. One important news for all of you, for all our bankers who are preparing for May 2026 JAIIB examination, that increment series will be there till Saturday. From Monday, we will be shifting towards a new series which will be conducted on this particular time. Fine. So, starting from Monday, the upcoming Monday, that is 2nd of Feb, you will find the videos in this sequence. So, on Monday, AFM will be there 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then PPB from 7 p.m. onwards. Fine. It will be taken up by me. Tuesday RBWM and IEIFS, and Wednesday AFM PPB. Then again RBWM IFS on Thursday, Friday again AFM and PPB, and lastly on Saturday RBWM and IE and IFS. So you can save this particular schedule, take the screenshot, because from Monday 2nd Feb we will be starting off with this new timetable. And new initiative by our team. It is that on 2nd and 4th Saturday, specifically because we know that bankers have holiday on 2nd and 4th Saturday. So we will be conducting special Zoom sessions as well. Fine. So whenever we talk about the doubt clearing session, fine, most of the students they have the doubts, whatever doubts you have regarding the JIIB or for that matter CAIIB examination, you can ask us in these Zoom sessions. For CAIIB, we will be sharing a fresh timetable, a separate timetable, but for JAIIB examination, this will be the time or the entire schedule which will be following from 2nd of Feb. So save the particular timetable and try to follow it as you are following the increment series. Now let's move on to our discussion, starting off with the BCSBI. So Banking Code and Standards Board of India, although it has been discontinued, but questions are being asked from this particular topic, so we cannot ignore it. So, what all is important when it comes to the customer's rights, or for that matter, duties and rights of the bankers via the BCSBI? Let's see. So, first thing first, when it was constituted. So, in November 2003, RBI constituted the Committee on Procedures and Performance Audit of Public Services, commonly known as CPPAPS. Fine, you must have studied it in the previous chapters. The CPPAPS committee constituted by RBI in 2003. And who was the chairman that time for this particular committee? It was Sri S.S. Tarapur, who was also the former deputy governor. And what was the issue they wanted to address using this particular committee's recommendation? To address the issues relating to availability of adequate banking services to common man. Simply stated, we are trying to evaluate that whether the services which are being offered to the common man, they are adequate or not. So what the committee recommended then? So the committee simply recommended setting up of the Banking Codes and Standards Board of India, BCSBI, on the lines of Banking Codes and Standard Boards functioning in UK. So you must have read, you must have heard also that many initiatives are there ongoing in the banking industry, in our banking industry, which are in line with the foreign countries also. In many countries, they are in the forefront of various initiatives they keep on taking, and we try to replicate the same, but with the you can say domestic needs. Fine, we try to implement all those particular uh, initiatives of foreign countries, but in line to our own needs, and this is one of them, the BCSBI. It was registered as a separate society under the Societies Registration Act. So SRA 1860 is the particular legislation under which this BCSBI has been registered. And on which date it was registered? 18th Feb 2006. So if the question is asked that BCSBI was implemented, or for that matter registered in our country since when? So since 2006. What were the main objectives? Now, when we talk about the adequate banking services provided to the common man or not, we are directly indicating that we are here to see the services. So the main objective was to plan, evolve, prepare, develop, promote, and publish comprehensive codes and standards for the banks for providing fair treatment to their customers. Fine. Fair treatment, how they can provide? By giving them the apt solution for their every problem. And the customer service, as we have seen in the customer service chapter also, if the customer service is top notch, you need not to have any other brand ambassador for your bank. And this is one of the main objective of BCSBI, to function as an independent autonomous body to monitor and to ensure the codes, the standards adopted by the banks are adhered to in letter and spirit while delivering services to their customers. So they will be having, the customers will be having services, and we at our end, what we should do, being a banker, or for that matter being a bank, we must ensure that everything is in line with the set standards by the RBI, or for that matter regulator. Then BCSBI had, in collaboration with the IBA, or Indian Banks Association, evolved and issued following two codes. So two codes were issued in line with the regulations of RBI and in collaboration with IBA. So here you can see the main objective was fulfilled, to plan, evolve, publish the comprehensive codes. So based on this, two codes were there. Code of Banks Commitment to the Customers, issued in 2006, revised in 2018. Then the bank's commitment to micro and small enterprises, known as MSC code. So this question I think was asked in 2023, that the MSC code was published by which of the following organization. So one option was BCSBI, and it was the correct one. Was released on 31st of May 2018, subsequently reviewed in 2022. So both these codes you must remember. One is simply for the customers, fine, overall customers, and for the MSC customer base, we have the MSC code. And why MSC? Why not medium enterprises also? Because MSME includes the medium enterprises also. So let me just tell you, micro and small enterprises clubbed together in our country, they form greater than 97% of the MSME ecosystem. So my medium enterprises are less than 3%, you can say, in our country right now. So what is the present status of this BCSBI? Are these codes uh, right now functional or not? So RBI has set up the CEPD, Consumer Education and Protection Department, the same department which publishes the guidelines for the ombudsman also. It issued Charter of Customer Rights (COCR) and considerably strengthened the ombudsman mechanism to enhance the consumer protection. Fine. So BCSBI, the essence was that we will be publishing certain codes which will be helpful for the customers, and they will serve as the guiding light for the banks also, that how they are supposed to function in line with the customer's demand. Okay, so now when we have the ombudsman mechanism, when we already have the RBI integrated ombudsman scheme, which has been just now revised, the 2026 guidelines are being published, which will be implemented from 1st of July 2026. So when we right now have this particular setup, earlier it was 2021, so there will be certain overlap between the ombudsman and BCSBI. That is the reason why the BCSBI was dissolved. Fine. BCSBI is no more functioning. The codes issued by BCSBI continue to be applicable on the banks. This is another question which they can ask, that whether BCSBI codes, which were two in number, are applicable on the banks or not. Answer is yes. So MSC code is still there. Now, what are the key commitments under the codes? We know two types of codes, one for the consumers, then we have MSC code. But what are the commitments? That is very, very important. To act fairly, reasonably in all their dealings with the target customers. Fine. So all the target customers, whosoever is there, we have to act reasonably while dealing with those customers. We have to act fairly. We should not have anything behind the curtain which is not being transferred to the customers in a transparent manner. To help the customers understand how banks, financial products, and services work. So, if the customers have any doubts, any apprehension regarding the services which we are providing, we must address the same to keep consumers use their account or services, fine, to help the customers use their accounts as well as services. So whatever issue they are facing in our basic services, that must be addressed in real time as soon as possible to deal quickly, sympathetically with things that go wrong. So definitely whenever we say that a particular code is there and it reflects the commitment of the bank that we will be providing our services in a fair manner, but still the customers feel that you are not providing the service as they have expected. So to deal quickly, sympathetically, in such situation where the customers feel that the things are not going in the right direction, to treat all the personal information of the customers as private and confidential. Do not leak the information. Do not share the customer's information with anybody else, with the third parties. To publicize the code, to create awareness about the code. That is also one of the commitment. To adopt and practice a non-discrimination policy. You need not to discriminate whenever providing services to the customers. There should not be any discrimination. That is also very, very important. Then we move on to the grievance redressal. How the grievances need to be addressed, or for that matter, how the redressal system works under this code. So every member bank is required to have a help desk or the helpline at the branch. We are providing the services. We are committed to provide services to the customers, but how? Via the help desk helpline at each branch. You should have a code compliance officer, CCO, at each controlling office above the level of the branch. So, not in the branch, but the controlling office, whosoever is controlling the particular branch. So, whether it is the regional office or for that matter, the zonal office, it must have one CCO. Fine. Display at each branch name, contact number of the CCO, code compliance officer. Very, very important. It's not the chief compliance officer, right? For the audit, we have CCO, which is the chief compliance officer. This is not that. This is the code compliance officer. So you have to have the uh, at each branch display the name and the contact number of the respective CCO. Display name and address of the ombudsman also. This is somewhat mentioned in the RBI integrated ombudsman scheme as well. So for the ombudsman also, all the information must be displayed in the branches. So these were what? These were the particular steps which the banks must take while providing the services to the customers. Now comes the question that what are the obligations on the customers? Fine. The customers, when they use the bank service, they have certain duties towards the bank, which is the second part of this particular chapter. So what are these duties? So first of all, to provide the required documents, information, including the personal information for KYC, that is the duty of the customers. Fine. If the bank is asking for the KYC documents, they need to provide it. Then to keep the passbook, checkbook, and debit card safely. Fine. Do not just have a lax side approach that we can, throw away these particular documents anywhere and then expect the banks to provide 100% service. No, if you do not have the passbook or for that matter checkbook is misplaced and it is in wrong hands, anything can happen with the debit card. Same thing applies. To keep confidential the user ID and the password for access to various channels. So while utilizing the internet banking services provided by the bank only, you have to have the user ID and password with you only. Do not share with anybody. Keep it confidential. To inform promptly the bank about any unauthorized transaction noticed in the account. Within a few hours, you must approach your bank, find the nearest branch with the complaint that yes, this unauthorized transaction has occurred in my account. Kindly guide me. How should I approach in the future? not to allow any third party to use own bank account for its transaction. So the third party might be curious to have your bank details, and it may misuse your particular bank account. So do not provide any kind of information to the third party for any transaction involved. Then we have a very important point, not to provide any personal account information, personal or account related information, including the user ID, password, OTP to anyone purporting to call on behalf of the bank. So bank normally they don't call you, right? Even if there is a particular service which they need to provide, they refrain from calling you. They just tell you to come to the branch. Similarly, not to share such information with any person purporting to represent the bank visiting personally. Nobody will come to your home and say that, yes, we are from XYZ bank and we are here to provide you this particular service. Even if for the cross selling also, they will be having their authorized ID cards with them, and ultimately they will tell you that you have to visit the branch for this formality. Not to click on any link received through email, SMS for accessing the bank's website. Right? Do not click the link. That is very, very important. Sign all the checks or forms, letters to the bank as per the specimen signature provided to the bank. So the bank will be providing you a particular form in the first stage of your account opening, and that particular signature, fine, the SS, the specimen signature which you will be providing there, that will serve as the benchmark for all the dealings with the banks, with your particular bank in future. So sign all the checks or forms to the banks as per that particular signature only. That's why we say na, that now your account opening form is being filled. So do check that this particular signature of yours is correct or not, because based on this signature only, you will be able to maintain the relationship with the bank. To use non-home branches only for permitted transaction and when it becomes essential. Right? Normally customers they come to non-home branches thinking that everything will be done in the same manner as there was in their home branches. So this is not the case. Only certain limited transactions can be done in the non-home branches. To register one's own mobile number, email ID with the bank to get instant alerts. Fine. Always remember that the instant alerts will be there only if you have provided your account, your phone number and email ID to the bank. Not to store important banking data in mobile, email, or purse or wallet. Again, very, very important point. Whenever we share the data over the mobile phone, anything can happen. Cyber attack can occur in any form. To use only verified, secured, and trusted websites for online banking transactions. Right? So official website of your bank for net banking, or for that matter for any purchase also, third party purchase also, you should visit their official website. To use debit cards, credit cards only at authorized ATMs or merchant establishments. Only the authorized ATMs visit. Try that you are visiting the ATMs of the branch only. To change one's online banking password and PIN regularly, although prompt is there that after every 2 or 3 months, automatically the message pops that without changing the password or the PIN, you won't be able to access your internet banking or the mobile application. But yes, you should also inculcate such habit of changing the password regularly. To request to block one's ATM card, debit card, credit card, prepaid card if it is lost or stolen. So whenever you do not have the access to any card, fine, you lose the access of a particular card, directly block that particular card. Fine. So yes, these are the obligations. Apart from that, when we talk about the termination of banker customer relationship, or for that matter, what are the rights or duties of the bank, like we have the right of set off, right of appropriation. All these are what? Charging lien, fine, and also charging the interest. All these are what? These are the rights of the bank as well. So everything including this termination of bank customer relationship. If you want to cover, then we have the apt solution for you, JAIIB Mahapack. Here we'll be covering all the four subjects in detail. Along with that, you will get the revision classes also once we launch those batches, plus the crash course as well. Plus, not only these, the full length mock test plus your unit wise mock tests are also available. So, right now, we are providing huge discounts on the JAB Mahapack. If you are interested in enrolling this particular Mahapack, you can have the 3x validity also. And in order to understand this 3x validity, you can call us on 0981 981 9247, and for best discounts you can apply the coupon code Y1003. See you guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye everybody, take care.